back to another episode of the Off the Clock podcast. I'm your host, Mark Wise, and today we are brought with another interview. But before we get into that, make sure to go follow me on X and Instagram at MarkWise59. That's MarkPaz59. This is the first episode of season 4, and we are brought with the first female on the show and a cheerleader and stunt member for the Javelinas. Alegria. Abby, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm glad to finally get the season started, the show going. I've been nervous. I'll be honest. I was nervous before we started, before you got here. I was very nervous because it's the first one I've done since November. So it's been a while since I've done an interview, but we're here and we're gonna get started now. All right. So the first question, Abby, I just want to learn about you and your life. The first one is, was cheerleading the first sport you played as a child?
Yes, cheerleading was the first sport I played. I started with tumbling because my older sisters did tumbling, and it just went from there. And then I did a pop Horner cheer, and then I started the competitive cheer. I did play other sports along the way, but none I wanted to pursue in college as much as cheer because I just fell in love with it.
What were the some of the other sports that you did play?
I ran track since the age of 4 also, and then in high school, I started playing volleyball my sophomore year because I didn't wanna run cross country anymore, so I played volleyball instead, and then I played golf in high school as well.
So whenever you were younger, you said it was your sisters that you got into cheerleading and all the other sports also because your sisters played them too?
Yes, my sisters ran track. We all ran track here actually at the one of the club tracks here for the summer. And then we ended up doing AU and all that other stuff, like TAF and stuff. And then we got private coaches along the way and then developed our skills. And yeah.
Who who would you say influenced you the most to get into or to continue playing cheerleader throughout your younger years?
I would have to say a lot of my coaches along the way. I had amazing tumbling coaches and cheer coaches, but one of the people that influenced me most was one of the girls I used to cheer with. She was on an older competitive cheer team than me, and she cheered at Baylor University, and she would go to UCA nationals. And I saw like all the experiences that she had, and all like the growing that she did while she was
Mhm.
in college cheer. So from there, I knew I wanted to do cheer, but I didn't know where or like, yeah, where I wanted to do it.
So whenever you were little, how many like cheer events would you estimate you've gone to?
Ooh. I've been to quite a bit. I did All Star Cheer for about 4 years, and I couldn't even say we had like a competition every other week. So, and our competition season starts in like October. And so from there, like every other week, we're traveling. Like I've been to Louisiana for cheer, Dallas, and a lot of places for just to do competitive cheer.
And what event would you say was probably your favorite event?
My favorite event would have to be NCAA All-Star Nationals in Dallas. There's like thousands of athletes, thousands of spectators. It's the biggest cheer event of the year, and it goes from like the biggest teams you could know of and to like small town teams. Like I'm from a small town and I was on a small town team, but I also got to watch the biggest teams compete, like world teams and all that stuff, all at the same competition.
And how old were you at this time?
My first time I went, I believe I was 10 or 11, the first time I went and competed there.
Mhm.
But I went previous years before to watch my sisters compete there, but I wasn't on an all-star team yet because I was didn't know if that's what I wanted to do exactly. But then I ended up getting on one.
And did you have to be in a certain age to be on the All Star?
You could do it from the age of 3, I believe, till any age. So there's like open teams, and then there's the like baby teams, I guess you could say.
Mm.
But it goes from the junior teams to no, the P teams kind of to the junior teams, and then to the senior teams. So I was on a junior team, and then I was on a senior team. So there's like you have to be at least 13 to be on a senior team. And when I was 13, I was on a senior team.
Okay. And so, I mean, probably the answer is yes. But was cheer your favorite sport growing up?
Yes, it was.
Out of all the other ones you
I
played?
love track a lot, but cheer was just I just had like the energy for cheer and like the smile for cheer because I'm always smiling no matter what. And yeah, so it was definitely my favorite.
Mhm. And so, I've known you for a while. I've known your family for a while, and we're from the same area, small town, Kingsville, Ricardo. We went to Rivera. Um, and I just want to ask you, how was your high school experience there at Rivera for you? How was it?
My high school experience in Rivera was definitely my junior and senior year. It was rough just because such a small town school, there's always going to be competition with people and other people. But it's just like your family supporting you, and I have the best 2 older sisters that will have my back literally no matter what, and I always looked up to them growing up. So I saw all the stuff that they did in Rivera and what they did for the school, so I wanted to follow in their footsteps to do the same things as them.
And I'm gonna ask this because since we both went to Rivera, my senior year, after I graduated, a lot of the coaches left. A lot
Mhm.
of coaches went to new schools, a lot of teachers left. So how was it after that? Because whenever looking from the outside, whenever I saw it, I thought it was like Rivera was going down.
Yeah.
But from you were there, how was it though?
Losing a lot of the coaches that we kind of grew up with because they coaches have kids and the coaches' kids are
Yes.
were my best friends. It was a rough one, and it was like, well, they moved, so I want to move too because my best friends moved. But we definitely got new coaches to fill their shoes in. It was a rough year for a second, and I think Rivera just is build needs to build up and like the athletes because they have a new class of freshmen, build them up all those 4 years and keep the same coaching staff so they could get the right mentality and the right the right work ethic for it. So
Because all the coaches left. What were you going into your junior year, or were you going into your sophomore year whenever they left?
I think my sophomore year because I was a freshman when you were a
Okay.
senior, I believe. So I think I was my sophomore year of high school.
And so, what coaches would you give the most credit to? If you're going to talk about one of the coaches or whoever, would you give the most credit to helping you through your teen and your youth and teen years?
I would have to say the Bordens, definitely. I've known them my whole life, literally. And even when they were gone in career, I would still like talk to them and all this stuff. Miss Borden would always talk to me about track and volleyball. And then for like other sports, I would have to say like my junior and senior year, Coach Jay, which now coaches here at Tamook for track. He definitely impacted me on track.
Coach J?
Yeah. His name, I don't know what they call
Oh,
him
wait,
here.
no. Okay, now I think I'm thinking about someone else. I'm thinking about James Jefferson.
Oh,
No,
he's no, no,
okay. I was
no,
like, wait.
no, 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 not him. I don't know what happened to him. No, Coach Jay definitely impacted me on track and like the right mentality because track was my favorite thing for a while in high school because it was the competition thing because we didn't do any cheer competitions in high school. So he impacted me a lot throughout my high school journey for track, and yeah. So those are the coaches that I would have to give my credits for like throughout high school.
Mhm. Besides cheerleading, I mean, I know cheerleading is what you do now. What was your second favorite sport? Track.
Yeah, it was definitely track.
What did you? What's your run track?
I ran a 200, an open 200, and then the 4x1 and the 4x4, but sometimes they would put me in the 4x2 instead of the 4x4, just like depends like where I was needed that week. And then I did long jump and high jump and then triple jump.
Uh, how were you in long jump and high jump compared to
Sister, there's no competition there.
competition
No
there?
competition.
What was your favorite event?
Definitely triple jump because my sister didn't do it. So
It's something on her.
yeah, I had something on her. She couldn't do triple jump like at all. So I would have to say that was my favorite because I knew I was better than her at it.
Any running events that you like doing, or
The 4x1 was definitely my favorite. I was anchor for it my junior and senior year. And it's just like the adrenaline. Like I can't like I get scared running like an open 200 like with the gun. But like the 4x1 I know I have to like do it for my team.
yeah,
So like there's I just don't get as nervous, I guess. I don't know why.
I know what you mean. I think I I'm not gonna compare what I've done. I've done the fat man relay. Well, in middle school, actually, I did a relay in district. They needed me to do it because some people were out. But they got my fat behind on the line. I was what was it, second leg. I was on the straight, and I mean I found that way much easier because I did run the 100 also. This was back when I was a little skinnier.
Mhm.
Back when in eighth grade, I was a long time ago. But I mean, I do understand what you mean. And what other sports did you play? Did you enjoy playing? Because I feel like you played all of them basically.
I just didn't do basketball or softball. I used to play softball, but
Hmm.
I stopped in like sixth grade because it was not for me.
And
Uh,
basketball?
I just never tried it. I was always focused on track because basketball like went into track season.
Hmm.
So like track was always my main priority in high school because I knew I would do good at it. And but volleyball was definitely like up there too.
Yeah.
I loved volleyball. I loved the girls. I met my best friend through volleyball and the bond like with my team and everything, the coaches. I did have a new volleyball coach every single year of high school, but it was definitely worth it and I got to experience some things that a lot of people don't get to
Mhm.
experience.
Because you get to learn from a lot of new people. You get to have new experiences. I can kind of take it from whenever I played baseball with Coach Lopez,
Mhm.
my junior year, I want to say sophomore junior, and then Lopez left to Ricardo, and Gordon moved to coach baseball. And then you learn from two different people the baseball. I already knew Gordon from football, how he coached and how he was. But then you learn from some new people whenever they come in, and every year, I mean, you get to. I think that helps the athlete be more coachable.
Yes.
Whenever you have so many new views come in and so many new voices come in, but you're still able to uh, apply them to your game and still able to play at a high level. But I want to take you back to cheerleading and throughout high school. And I don't know how cheerleading goes for college,
Mhm.
but what inspired you to continue cheerleading in the collegiate level?
What inspired me was I knew I wanted to do something in college, either where it was run track or cheer. And then I got the opportunity to cheer here at Tamook. And right away, I knew that was going to be the right decision for me and where I knew I would fit in the most. And as again, I said earlier that one of the girls I used to cheer with in All Star Cheer, she cheered at Baylor, and I just saw all like how it impacted her and her life. So I knew I wanted to do that from there because I saw what she was doing and how much she improved from college cheer as a person and as a cheerleader as well.
And what was the process like of having to compete for a cheerleading spot? How does it go? I have no clue how that goes.
So for high school, we have cheer tryouts. So like it's you go to a clinic on a Saturday and then throughout the week you have like optional practices like with like everyone that's trying out and then the next Saturday you try out for cheer as well. And you could either my freshman and sophomore year we didn't have captain tryouts, but my junior and senior year we did have captain tryouts. So as long as you're on the team for 1 year, you could try out for captain. So,
Okay,
yeah, so there was, like, my junior year, there
that's in
was
high school.
yes. My junior year, we had 2 co-captains and 1 captain, and one of the co-captains was sophomore because she was already on the team previously, so she could anybody could try out for captain. Yeah. And then my senior year, I was captain. And then college-wise, we did kind of like a recruiting method my last year, and I went to one of the practices with the girls. And after that practice, like I knew it was something that I wanted to do, so I kept in contact with Coach Molly, and then I got the opportunity to be on the team and the stunt team, which the stunt team I was really scared for because I didn't know what it like insisted of and like all the work. But I'm definitely glad that I did it because I have so much fun with the other girls and everything. And then for Daytona season and national season, we have mat tryouts.
Mm.
So it's literally a random day. We didn't know the day, and we do skills, a cheer, a fight song, and like sign work, flag work, and then we get the results like later on in the week for who made Matt.
Well, I'm actually glad that you brought up Stunt because you are a part of the first Stunt team at Texas A&M Kingsville. How does that feel knowing that you are the first of many to come behind you?
It feels really good. It's history in the making, like we all been saying. It's definitely the first year is definitely gonna be rough just because it's something new and like there's so many. We have to learn 8 routines and like from like you have a certain time to learn all those 8 routines. And like at our last competition, we learned so much from the other teams that we watched because there was big Division 1 teams to small like Division 2 teams. And it's just, like, a good experience, and, like, later on, like, in 10 years, we're gonna be like, "Oh, we were on the first ever stunt team," and we get to watch it grow every single year, like, throughout my 4 years that I'm here at Tamuk, and yeah.
Is a lot of the or all the stunt people also cheerleaders or
No.
no?
So, you have the option to double team, a lot of us don't double team. Well, like, a lot of us double team and a lot of them don't double team, so there's 19 on the stunt team, and I think about 16 of us double team, maybe less of us double team. And there's like a couple girls that are just on stunt.
Mhm. What would you say is the biggest difference between both cheerleading and stunt?
I would have to say the biggest difference is cheer, we yell and we smile, we have signs, props, stunt. It's a 4 quarter game and we do something different every single quarter. And stunt's more like a competitive thing. Not that cheer isn't competitive, but stunt, it's more I guess I don't even know how to say it. Like, it's just a competitive thing, like, if you like to be competitive, like, if you like
Mhm.
basketball or something, stunts like that, because 'cause you're going against a team at the exact same time, performing the exact same thing, and you have to know who gets the point at the end of the day.
Mhm. So, along the time that I've known you and your family, and from afar, all I've seen is a supportive, loving family. You guys are always together. You guys were, I see a lot of family pictures of y'all together, dressing up and everything. How has that support been able to help you improve as a person throughout your life?
The support has helped me improve because I know, like, even if I do fail, my family will always have my back and support me, and they've always supported me through every single decision I have made. And it's just like doing things we've done sports our whole life, but like not focusing like exactly on sports every single day, like doing things outside of sports and stuff, and just having like to have a good bond like with each other and like with my sisters and stuff as well.
How does it feel to be the youngest of three? Because I myself am also the youngest of three. So
Yeah.
how does it feel to be the youngest one?
It feels there's definitely big shoes to fill because like growing up I would see all like the things my sisters did. Like my older sister, she made it to the Junior Olympics like 4 times. So I was like, oh, that's like I want to do that too. Like I want to follow in your footsteps. And it's not like a competition between us ever. Like it's just like I want to be as good as you. I want to do like what you do and all that stuff just as being the baby because you saw them succeed so much and you don't want to fail, I guess. So
Yeah, I feel like and I want to see if you think the same way because I feel like we have two older people. We can look at them and I feel like it makes it a little easier for us because we can see like, hey, this didn't work whenever they did this. Maybe if we did it this way, they tried this, it didn't work. Because you get to learn a lot from them. You see
mhm.
what they do, you see their process, you see them every day, what they go through. If they get in trouble, you're like, hey, okay, not gonna do that next time. All right. And you start learning from them and I think it helps the youngest be the better of them all. I think we will end up being the better of them all. But I mean, all love to them. All love to them, but of course, I think the youngest ones want to be on top.
Yeah, I definitely try to be better than them in most things, and I've seen like what they've done and like what they've done wrong to know not to do that.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like I do make mistakes, so it's like sometimes I can do that, but like
And this is what I've learned from myself.
yeah, but I've definitely learned so much from my sisters, and like that's why we have like me and my sisters have like the strongest relationship with each other. We do everything together and stuff, and yeah, just like learning from them and trying to do as they do, but like also trying to be myself because for a while I got like like the underdog kinda, and,
Yeah.
like, I was Maddie's little sister. Like, that's what everyone called me in high school, like, little Maddie, and, like, in junior high, elementary, high school, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So, like, I wanted to be better than her.
No, I get that. I get that same thing. My brother went to SG, and all his friends would tell me, "Hey, Lil Paz, hey, what's up, man?" It's like, nah, bro. It's like, bro, don't Lil Paz, it's Mark.
Yeah.
So I get it. You want to make a name for yourself, and that, and I mean, I feel that same way. That's why I do this, what I do now, because yeah, I still want to be known as their brothers, but it's like, hey, I don't want to be known as Lil Paz no more. Wait, Mark, I do my own thing. I'm just as good. I show me Lil Paz.
Yeah.
But what is your usual routine as a cheerleader and a college athlete?
So, the week starts off Monday, we have a lift in the morning, and then I go to class right after lift, and we practice at 4. And then Tuesday, I kind of just repeat the same thing, go to class, and then practice again, like after class. And then Wednesday, it's the same thing as Monday, just like every other day is different because Monday we have cheer, and then Tuesday's stunt, and then Wednesday's cheer again, and then Thursday, and Friday are stunt.
Do you find college easier than high school?
In some ways I do, in some ways I don't. I think like the sports wise in college, it's definitely just a learning balance that you have to learn. And sometimes it can get stressful, but then at the end of the day, I'm doing what some people like what some people's dream to do. So it's just like that mentality in my head and that motivation to keep going, and because it's something that most people can't do in college. So but, like, class-wise, I definitely it's easier to balance than high school because I have from Sunday to Sunday to do my work
Hmm.
and submit it, like, on my own time and not, like, being rushed by, like, a teacher in high school or something like that in class.
Yeah, and you know, I do find the classes a little easier now because we can actually take like our own certain amount of classes
Mhm.
at our own time, and so I do like that part compared to high school. Although I do miss high school a little bit, I miss seeing all the guys. That's great. But what was I gonna say? What has been your favorite experience here at Tamu so far?
My favorite
Because
experience?
what your second year here?
My first year here.
First year so
Yes.
far. Your first year.
Yeah.
How has it been?
It's been amazing. The friends that I have met are amazing. Love them. See them, like, almost every single day. But my favorite experience, honestly, would have to have been this past weekend when we had our first stunt tournament, just because I got to see so many teams, like big Division 1 universities, and like compete and do stunt, and like knowing that this is like it's actually happening. Because like last semester it felt like so far away, and like we were never gonna get to this point, but now it's here. And just getting to experience that with my team and my coach was definitely fun and a memorable time.
And so now one of my last questions. Nobody wants to think about the end, but what is the path for you after college? I know you still got plenty of time,
Yeah, I got
but
a
what
couple
is it?
years. So I want to go into radiology eventually. So I don't know like what my path at Tamuk's gonna take because Tamuk doesn't have a radiology program. I want to be an ultrasound technician. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna graduate with Tamuk with my business degree and then go get my certificate in ultrasound technician and pursue that for my career.
That sounds awesome.
Hmm.
That sounds pretty good. And like that, Abby, that is it. Do you know your Instagram off the top of your head?
Underscore Abby Alegria, I believe. I
Got
think.
it. If not, I'll make sure to put it down on the bottom. But Abby, appreciate you so much for
Thank
joining me
you.
today. It was a lot of fun to finally get the first interview out of the way. So, like I told you before, next guys, you gotta keep up because next is your sister on the show. So that's gonna be even fun.
Yeah.
Something else to talk about. But again, Abby, thank you for joining. And like that, guys, make sure you go like and subscribe to her and check out her Instagram. And go ahead, go to a stunt event this year. Y'all gotta show up to one, and I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm gonna make sure to show up to one in March also.
March 15th.
March 15th, next home one. All right, y'all be there. All right, peace.